Hey, friends, it's me, the Ebony Otaku, the well rounded nerd. I know it's been a minute, but Homegirl has a whole life. Okay, this is not a job for me. This is something I do for fun when I have time. If it ever gets to that level, it'll still be for fun when I have time. But today, I wanted to do something that I've been wanting to do for a hot minute. Wait, we're going to take Omega Supreme out of the box. Now, if you are new to my channel, welcome, but you may have noticed that there are certain properties out there that I have a huge affinity for, especially like with most people, if it was something out of my childhood that has a lot of connection, like the Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon's a big deal to me because I was a little kid when Sailor Moon came out. The English dub, not the original Japanese, because an American kid in the 90s. But Sailor Moon was a big deal. Like it came on like literally the second I got home.
I found this on the web for when Sailor Moon came out, the English dub, not the original Japanese, because an American kid. Check it out.
Thank you, Siri. Am I going to leave that in? Yes. She thinks everything's about her, like most girls. But anywho, I was a huge fan. It's just we all have a show that gets to us. That was the one that got me. It got me to the point that I was collecting the action figures even at a pretty young age, and even when I was a youngin, they didn't come out of the box. Like they're all still in the box. Like, ooh, pause. Let me show you. I had to knock over some little figures to get to these, but this girl right here. I mean, I've had when did I purchase her? Because I actually remember KB Toy Store when it was still a thing. Are toy stores at all a thing anymore? But yeah, KB Toy Store is still a thing. And for some reason, they got a lot of Sailor Moon stuff. And I bought this one probably when I was 15 or 16, and she stayed in the box. And so did all of the other scouts. I have the complete collection of the 11.5 inch dolls in the box. I also have a complete collection of the 6 inch dolls in the box. I just, from a very early age, I just have not been one to open my figures. And there's another one I have that you might be shocked about. Yeah, that's right. I'm flexing my Sailor Saturn. I'm totally flexing my Sailor Saturn. But this is just, to stress my love of certain properties. She was really hard to come by. I didn't get her until I was like 22. And this is the last one I needed to complete my collection. But at that time, Crystal and all of that hadn't come out. So this whole resurgence of loving Sailor Moon hadn't happened. So I was able to pick her up. Actually, it was a present. I'm not going to say I picked it up, but it was picked up for me on eBay for like $65. Do you know how much this can sell for now? It doesn't matter because she's not going anywhere. But yeah, there are just those bits of nostalgia that make us all happy. And that's okay because we live in a world where it seems like there's always something coming along to make you unhappy, to take your joy, to just put negativity out there. And this kind of stuff, at least for me, what's the phrase, Marie Kondo? It sparks joy. And if it sparks joy with you, that's why you're here. So let's spark some joy together and let's open another one of my favorite franchises. You know, I love a Transformer. Look at all of them. I'll tell you about these guys one day. Optimus Prime there and Rodimus Prime right here. You could barely see them, but there is another statue right there. There's two more boxes here, yeah, because they're blending into the Harry Potter poster. Yeah, there's a whole lot going on. I mean, that's a whole Unicron statue, and he's like single digits out of like 12,000 cold cast hand painted statues. My collection's legit. But today, let's add to that collection and open one of my favorite Transformer characters. Let's open Omega Supreme. This is the biggest box, which is okay. You need a big box for a giant figure. We've got to do it justice, right? So let's, where does one even start here? Ugh. I love that with the new series that's come out on Netflix, the War for Cybertron series, that brought back a resurgence of the love for the nostalgia, the 80s and 90s character models. I'm a huge fan of the 80s character models. Gen 1 and Gen 2 are all that exist to me, whatever. We all have what we love. But I do love the War for Cybertron series because they went back to the older character models. They're not exact copies, but you can feel that reminiscence in the way that they're designed. They're very respectful of the original artwork. Oh my goodness. Now, when you buy stuff like this, you don't think about these moments where you have to open it and then do something with it. Oh God. No, here it comes. Is this what giving birth is like? I've never given birth. Feels like, oh, here he comes. Oh, is he? Oh, he's right side up. I'm so happy. Let us see him in all of his glory. Because all music's copyrighted, I gotta make my own. Do, 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 do. Transformers! Okay, I'm done singing. Now, to be clear, I don't oft open my action figures. They are to remain reposed. But if you noticed with some of these Siege and War for Cybertron figures, because our toy manufacturer friends at Hasbro have committed to using less plastic. Yay, good for you, save the planet. That there's less openings on boxes, and in this case there's no opening, so I cannot set him up in any way where I can see him with just the box. Like there's others I've considered opening, like these guys here, the statues. I mean, they're statues unless it falls off the table, which it better not, but unless it falls off the table, it's fine. It's fine to take out the box because it's packed in styrofoam in the box and whatnot. But you see other figures there, the reason you don't have to open them is because you can see them. Unless it's just, something you do want to, take out, pose or whatever. And I have figures like that I never care about the value of them. And this would be one that I kind of care about the value of. But truth be told, there are still, original Omega Supremes floating around out there, which I used to have one. But we've all gone through a time in our lives when our mothers went through our toys and threw things away. But I have them now, and I want to enjoy the visage. So you know what you always need. You're gonna open one of these massive figures. You see all these? These are just little. They're rubber bands. So you can take them off in the back, which I don't like to do because then they'll end up falling forward and I'll lose control. And then you don't see them all for some reason. I find it better to do here. So first snip. Oh, we're snipping. Snippity, snip, snip, snip. I just want to get them out of the box. Well, this isn't y'all's best view, but it works for me. Is that it? Did I get all the snips? Did I do it? Oh, will he come out of the box now? Uh-oh, uh-oh. I mean, I'm not going to compare opening an action figure to having a baby, but this might be my baby. So, yes, there's accessories, but let's examine what we have here. Oh, wait, there's more. Oh, more cardboard. Flick. Don't need that. So, if you don't know who Omega Supreme is, he is a planet guardian of Cybertron. And he's not the only one. There are several of them. But when the planet is in extreme danger, that's planet wide, like all the things are coming, I don't know, a Unicron, they defend. They have the ability to turn into rocket ships, giant bases. They have massive weapons. Like they're just glorious all around. Not unlike Metroplex, which he's coming. I've pre-ordered him. We all saw that Amazon announcement come out. But where I love Omega Supreme in the context of the current series, let's be clear there, current series, where I love him is he is the only one of the Guardians to aid Optimus Prime in his quest. Optimus actually goes to the Guardians like, hey, the Decepticons are about to destroy the planet. They're going to steal the Allspark. Like, we're all doomed. And the Guardians were basically like, that's not a big enough problem. It's like, that's not a big enough problem? It's kind of like, in the Avengers, how the Eternals only show up if it's a huge issue, or, Captain Marvel only shows up if it's a big problem. Thanos wasn't a big enough reason for you to come back. Thanos wasn't it. If not Thanos, then who? Anyway, um, but he is the only one that when the Autobots were trying to get the Allspark safely off world, he was the only one to aid in that last mission, and eventually becomes an Autobot himself. And there's a whole lore and history behind that, which I love exploring in the new series. But let's check this guy out before we look at his accessories. So what I do love, especially with these new figures, they realize that kids get bored easily. And there are just lots of options. Like, I'm going to assume that all of these will fire. They never will. And that these fire as well. Awesome. He look so much like the original? This is great. He's got his rocket launcher hand, which I love. And look at that. Look at that. Fully articulated. That's what you want. You want articulation. Look at that. Even though a finger's been, it's just a claw, but what else? I mean, this doesn't have to be articulated. I forget, this is some kind of drill. I forgot what that is. But then, we open him up here. There's more gunnage. Oh, I think his whole chest cavity should open up. I could have read the directions, but that part of me is a guy. Yep, we got more artillery in here. Oh, his head turns and this will open. Girl, don't break it. You just opened it. Do not break it. Let me see here. Let's see. Because he transforms. That's the other thing about this. Now y'all are just watching me play with my transformer. But he transforms. He will totally go full base. Which my old one I had as a kid, I knew how to transform him. So I'm kind of going off of some of what I remember. But this has way more points of articulation than that one had. Like, way more. And I'm afraid if I undo him and turn him into a base, I'm not going to be able to put it back. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to close this. We're going to close these. That's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna close them up and know that it's there. And maybe I'll have a transforming day. I should do a video where I just transform a bunch of transformers and see what happens. Is that where you go? Yes. So looking down here at his feet. See, yeah, these come out as landing strips. See that? How it's straight there? That should come out as some type of landing strip. He's got some other pieces that flex out back here. Yeah, all of this turns him into a base. I feel like this is a 20-minute transformation project to get him to change. But let's look at the accessories. So if this is what I think it is, this makes him extra cool. So let's, skizzers. Yeah. It is what I think it is. We need our snippy snips. Snip. Snip. I've been watching too much Adventure Time. All right. Although I do, love to collect and there's lots of boxes involved, we must remain orderly. We do not throw trash all over our home. Treat one's home respectfully. Anywho, it's the wings. Wah. Yes. Oh, there's two of them. Open. I love stuff like this because I feel like I'm 8 years old again, and it's just the best feeling ever. Only he's going to be posed and never move again. So let's see how we put his wings on. Okay, so not going to lie, have been fiddling with this for quite some time, and still haven't glanced at the instructions. Probably not going to, so don't at me. Trying to figure out where these would connect logically, and I think I have it figured out because he's got a whole jetpack situation going on back here. Again, part of his rocket ship configuration, and it lifts up. It folds into several different versions. So I'm thinking for the wings to stay, this folds up, and obviously this is the back because these are tracks. So once he's laid down, he's fully transformed. This is a track that goes all the way around the base. This is just one half. So it has to fit in a way that this is the pretty side. So the pretty side obviously faces outward. This is how you learn to do stuff without following directions. No one's talking to you. Siri. So let's see if we can find a logical place to slide this in, because it would have to go here. Or am I going to do some kind of jury rigging and make it stay because I am not patient enough to read directions? Like, no joke, it doesn't matter what it is. I don't read directions. Like, you see that cabinet back there? I put that together. You think directions were read? They were not. I don't have time for it. Could I waste less time maybe by reading the directions? Hasn't failed me yet. It says it's part. The discovery is part of the fun, right? Just trying to see if you can figure out how it goes, and plus it's that it's kind of that piece of childhood portion as well. It's like, oh man, like how much is this going to be like what I remember? I mean, granted, I had these toys when I was 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, so obviously they're not going to be the same. But it is cool to just kind of have a little reminiscing moment. It's like, oh, I remember doing this. I remember doing this. This is heavy, by the way. How much does he weigh? He weighs about as much as a newborn baby. He's about as big as one too. I am 6'1". Look at him next to my head. That's a big figure. He's huge, and I got a spot for him where he's going to be displayed beautifully. Um, okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna look at some directions. Okay, I give up. So apparently, I was doing everything wrong. Yay, internet. So apparently, what you're supposed to do is I had it unfolded. It's gotta be folded this way, and you do have to lift up the rocket thrusters. I was correct on that, but the rocket thrusters lift up, and then there's a spot here where you can just slide it into place, and if you lined it up right, it will click. Ha! There you go. One. Where's the other one? There it is. Okay, so it's okay to read directions once in a while. And this guy should go on the other side. Come on. I kind of thought this spot on the back was where this goes. I just couldn't figure out how. All right, so we've got both of his track wings attached. So he can be considered fully assembled now. It would probably take me a month to figure out how to transform him. But we're going to set him to the side for just a second before he goes to his place of glory on the shelf. Oh, he's good and stable too. He's standing on carpet, standing up. But he came with a couple of other little things. So we got a little extra transformer that comes with. He's a little servant of the Supremes, and of course, your standard missiles and firing implements. These guys, because they're so small, I am probably not going to put them out for display because let my dog knock a cabinet and this falls away and goes down a grate or something, and then it's gone forever. And if you ever do want to sell it, you got to have all the pieces. Not some of the pieces, all the pieces. So they're going back in the box. And that box will go in the closet. So that's really cool. I am super happy with this figure. I mean, seriously, just picking it up, it's like, so once he has his place, he's going to stay in that place. But I love stuff like this. Obviously, and because it's fun. It's not that it's just fun, it's innocent fun. It's clean fun. It's fun that doesn't hurt anybody. We all have life going on. I mean, there's so much going on in the world right now, and none of us can solve all the problems. But if something brings you joy, do the thing. As long as it doesn't hurt anyone. Do the thing that brings a smile to your face and makes you happy. No matter how childish anyone says this, because let me tell you, homegirl works and homegirl pays her bills. So when homegirl wants to spend her extra money on and come at me, it's my money. I'll do with it as I please. So uh, do what brings you joy. And if giving birth to a 15-pound plastic baby brings you joy, do that. I mean, this is never going to see a landfill. Well, at least not as long as I'm alive. I tell you what, the day that I do depart for the next life, someone is going to sell all my figures and make quite a nice little nest egg for themselves. So I'm gonna have to will those to somebody for when the time comes because I have quite a collection. One day I'll show y'all the whole collection, but the collection it's ridiculous. But I've been collecting, oh goodness, since I was sorry, he hit my mic. He's that big. Bad Omega Supreme. Be a good baby. Um, but I've been collecting since I was 7, 8, 9 years old, easily. Um, like I remember one of my friends in grade school, we ended up going to different middle schools and we exchanged little like, I want to remember you presents because we were kids, we're sappy. And that kid gave me a C3PO. an original C3PO from like 1980, whatever it was when it came out, or 70 something, because I wasn't born when it came out. And I still have it. Yeah, I got stuff like that, like a whole metal Voltron. Yeah, I got some good figures. And even as a kid, it wasn't even so much I was looking at the monetary value of the figures. I just really enjoy the art of animation. And this is basically animation come to life. As far as a medium that speaks to me, animation does the most. I love animation. I mean, love me a good movie. I mean, Harry Potter's over here. I mean, you see, I'm a Harry Potter fan. But there's just something really uniquely expressive about animation because it's everyone, it's all inclusive. I mean, let's be real. Anime was 100% inclusive long before it became a buzzword in Western culture. Like, you want to talk about inclusivity? All the things are in anime and all are portrayed in many, many lights, you know? So, and not only that, but everyone can find a character to connect to. It's kind of like novels. You know, I love to read mostly fiction, science fiction, fantasy, that type of thing. I'll read a nonfiction once in a while, but I get enough real life in real life. I don't know about you, but I know what real life is like. I want to experience life as I'd like it to be, not as it has to be when I'm in my downtime. And that's another way to express that really speaks to me because in books we get attached to these characters because we are following their journeys. We feel like we're in the adventure with them, and for a little while, you know, it's like dreaming while awake. You're just out of yourself for a little while. You don't have to deal with the real world for a few minutes while you're enjoying this. Now, let's be honest. I mean, I don't play action figures anymore. He's gonna go on a shelf and, you know, once a month, a can of oxygen is going to blow dust off of him. That's what's going to happen to this figure. Like this is it for the rest of his life with me. Uh, but if you choose to transform and do all the things, why not? If I had kids, I'd be the best mom ever. No, I wouldn't. They wouldn't be able to touch these. If it's in a box, don't touch it. I'd have to get another one. There have to be the one that's in mommy's office that we don't touch, and then the other one. So, but no, I'd be the coolest mom ever. Like, oh, you want to dye your hair pink? What else? Oh, you want a tattoo? It's just like, whatever. It's your body. Express. You know, it's your mind. Express. Oh, you're really into anime? Let's find something to watch together. Ooh, not that. So, yeah. I'm into the fun side of life, and I hope you are too. So, as always, please like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed that unboxing. Oh, I'm sweating. Is it hot? It is like 85 out today. I need to turn on the air. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share everywhere. And then also remember the contest is still going. I am creeping up there, so thank you to everyone who subscribed. I'm creeping. I'm slowly creeping. Let's creep a little bit more. When we get to 500 across the Twitter, the YouTube, and the Instagram, I will be picking a winner from each of my platforms. So 3 winners with a U.S. address. Because shipping's real. And I'll be sending out nerdy prizes. Obviously, I have tons to send out. So keep subscribing, keep sharing, and I'll see y'all in the next one.